I said right after that game where the Raptors beat the Milwaukee Bucks in very impressive fashion that things are looking good. And there is a lot of reason to be optimistic. This offense looks good. It's starting to look like very impressive. But how much of this is real? How much of this is not? Should we buy into the way the offense has looked in the last few games? Can they keep this going for the rest of the season? So we had a lot of concerns about fit. At least I did, and a lot of other people did. We had concerns about how this was going to work. It seemed like on paper it was going to be a clunky offense. It seemed like on defense as well there were going to be some struggles overall as individually, but we ended the season so well defensively that we thought we could overcome that. Like, where are we at with the Raptors right now? Can this be an offense we ride on for the rest of the season? Like, what perfectly kind of captures the way the offense has played this season is this clip from this outstanding passing set that we had against the Bucks. And I was like so fired up watching this in real time. Just I'm keeping it small because copyright issues and whatnot. But this doesn't even capture the entire play. Just the way they were able to stay patient, cycle the ball around the perimeter, constant pump fakes, drives. Again, this doesn't even cover the whole thing, I don't think. But the patience to find the best shot and for Mamu to get the three off, having a backup big who can space the floor is great. Perfectly captures the way the Raptors offense has been playing this season. They're moving the ball extremely well. They're shooting the ball decently from three. And a lot of it is being led by the killer bees, we'll call them. Barrett, Barnes, Brandon Ingram, maybe we can say. RJ Barrett is averaging 21 points per game, 5 rebounds, 3.5 assists on 55% shooting from the field. Above 60% true shooting, I think it is. And I think that goes for all of them. Scotty Barnes, 21 points per game, 6.9 rebounds per game, 5.1 assists, 51% shooting from the field. And he's been, both him and RJ have been fantastic from three this season. They've been shooting the three ball extremely well. Brandon Ingram, 21 points, 6.1 rebounds, 3.9 assists, 54% from the field. And again, I'm pretty sure they're all above 6% shooting. They've all been very efficient offensively. Brandon Ingram is just so fun to watch because he's able to create his own shot and just get buckets. It's just this type of player we haven't had in so long. This season, he's averaging 58.6% on mid-range attempts. You know how I feel about mid-range attempts. I'm not a big fan of the mid-range shot. I'm very analytically driven. Mid-range shots are bad. But they're bad for players who aren't shooting this efficiently from mid-range. It's bad for people who shoot like the NBA average, low 40% in mid-range. If you're shooting above 50, or in this case, considerably above 50, that might be a good shot. And for Brandon Ingram, it's a really good shot. And for the Raptors, it's been a really good shot as well. So these players are clicking on offense. Visually speaking, not even worried about numbers. Visually speaking, I'm watching this team and I can see, you can see, this is good. This looks good, right? There is reason to be optimistic about how this looks right now. But then you kind of dig into some numbers here and it rolls you back a little bit. Because in the minutes, and I brought this up in a previous stream, but I'll bring it up again. In the minutes that Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, and RJ Barrett have been on the floor together, they have a net rating of minus 11. Offensive rating of 115.73. That would put them, where would that put them in the league? That would put them 15th in the NBA for offensive rating. 14th in the NBA for offensive rating. That's decent. That's average. You kind of would have thought it'd be better, though, considering how good they've all been individually. The defensive rating, where is a real problem? When those three are on the floor, the Raptors' defensive rating is 126.67. That would be second worst in the NBA. Only better than the horrifically bad Brooklyn Nets. And it's almost as bad as the horrifically bad Brooklyn Nets, who are 0-7 on the season. So thinking to myself, how can this be? How are they all playing so well individually, but the Raptors are bad when they're all on the floor together? Maybe you'll think, like, is it just because, like, Emmanuel Quickley's with them? He hasn't played well. I thought of the same thing. The Raptors are even worse of a net rating and even worse of an offense when Emmanuel Quickley's on the floor with them. I was kind of curious as to how this was the case. Then I kind of did some thinking. They're all like relatively small sample sizes, so we don't want to draw too big of conclusions into it. But I think part of it has to be that there still is a little bit of fit issues with those players. There still is a little bit of they all occupy similar areas. That's definitely playing into it a little bit. But we saw the offense is average. But then again, the offense is average while they're all playing at a higher level than you would expect them to sustain over the course of the entire season. So if they start to regress a little bit further back towards where you'd expect them to be, then the offense likely gets worse in those minutes. So I think where the issue lies is it's hard to generate a good offense when your defense is playing so poorly as well. Like, the Raptors want to turn defense into offense a lot of time. That was part of the reason they found a lot of success in their last game against the Milwaukee Bucks, because they so often were able to turn defense into offense by forcing turnovers. I think there is part of it that stems from the fact that Jakob Poeltl hasn't been completely healthy. He was very poor to start the season because he was injured, took some time away, and he looked a lot better against the Bucks. Maybe part of it is that a lot of the times that they are on the floor together, you have a lot of minutes there where they don't actually have a rim protector. And it's very key. Like, Brandon's not a great defender. RJ Barrett's not a good defender. And for the starting five, Emmanuel Quickley's been poor on defense this season. Maybe part of it is just they haven't had the anchor defensively to improve those levels defensively. So not going to make these overarching conclusions based on the data that we have in these smaller sample sizes. But my theory is that these players are playing very well. Defensively, it hasn't quite worked. But my theory is that will get better when Jakob Poeltl is healthy and playing with them more often in those minutes. We'll wait a little bit more on that to get further sample size on that to really make a determination of if it's going to be a problem with those three on the floor together defensively. But I think it will. I mean, it has to get better with Poeltl, surely. But will it be good enough to justify those minutes together? We're going to have to kind of wait and see. Where the damage is really being done for the Raptors is when they have those guys staggered in minutes with floor spacers coming off the bench. Kind of weird to say that because, like, the floor spacing has been primarily done right now from Barnes and Barrett, who you would not expect it to come from. But it's just providing a little bit more spacing for them, and it gives them a little bit more of security in what their role is and how many touches they're going to get offensively. So staggering minutes has been better. We're seeing a lot less of these four bench players on at once lineups, which I absolutely disgust seeing. Thankfully, we might finally be, after 2 and a bit years, we might actually be shifting away from that with Darko Rajakovic as head coach. But it's clear there is talent with this team. There is ability with this team. We can see it from the eye test. We can see it with the stats of the players individually. There is something promising potentially brewing here with the Raptors. They just might need to fine-tune it and get a little bit of injury luck with it to really see where it can, like, how far it can take them for the rest of the season. So is this Raptors offense the real deal? We're not going to make that statement as of yet. But, like, again, it's exciting. Like, that game against Milwaukee, that was really good. That was like, that performance was like a whoa type of performance. Whoa. That looked really good. Can they keep doing that? And if they can, it's hard to see this team not making the playoffs. But big statement, big if. Let's see if they can keep on doing it.